Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS and Ascension. And in the first part of this episode, we're going to have a moment to chill. Because we have that crafting session with Sespinar to do, and there was also a request in the comments to check out how the kill counts of our party members have been developing since the last time we looked at them at the end of Shadows of Amn. And we're of course going to inspect that kind of info at the end of the whole playthrough, but we can also take a quick look now. So let's see how Senashira has been doing so far. Apparently very well, managing to break 1,000 kills in total, with Kangax still being her most worthy opponent that she disposed of. And Senashira, of course, being our main actress in basically every endeavor that we undertake, is of course at the top of the killing department as well. Perhaps not being so dominant in Throne of Bhaal, but still being number one, of course. And by the way, this chapter category here actually pertains to Throne of Bhaal as a whole, because if you remember our adventures in Saradush and with Yagashura and the Forest of Mir, they were a separate chapter from the one we are in now that started when we entered Amkethran, but you know, those are of course not the stats since we entered Amkethran, but for Throne of Bhaal as a whole. You will see that clearly from Saravok's tab, where his total stats are going to be the same with these supposed chapter stats. But anyway, now let's take a look at Jaheira. 374 kills with around 100 in Throne of Bhaal. Very consistent performance with 13% all across the board, with Bodhi being her top kill, of course, and that's always going to stay like that, because just as a little reminder, these most powerful vanquished opponents are determined based on the amount of experience that they give once they are killed, and Bodhi is the undisputed number one in the whole game with 91,000 experience. And this is also why some very prominent opponents never appear in this category, because they die in a cutscene, sometimes granting personalized experience instead. And as a matter of fact, the final opponent here in Watcher's Keep is going to die that way. But yeah, let's now take a look at Sir Animan. 377 kills, so very, very similar amount to Jaheira's, although his Throne of Bhaal performance is 5 kills worse. That dropped him down to 12% total, apparently. But yeah, kind of similar stats to Jaheira's, with the dragon from Suldan SLR still being his most famous, I guess, and most worthy kill. Now, Karenai being our second Slayer, 630 kills, very nice, doing around 23-21% of kills, and she has become kind of our Red Dragon Slayer specialist, because she also had the killing blow on Saladrex, but since both Firkrag and Saladrex give the same amount of experience, 64,000, and Firkrag was the first, well, he's going to stay on the throne here, and Karenai's stats. Now when it comes to Imoen, around 100 kills again. Oh, and actually our fresh Demilich kill from the last episode was her 100th one, so very fitting. That's one way to celebrate 100 kills. Of course we don't expect her to be great at killing. And Saravok, our newest acquisition, has been doing pretty well for himself, overtaking Imoen in the amount of kills already, 119. And yeah, as you can see, his total kills and his chapter kills are the same. 16% basically since he joined the party, doing pretty well. And of course Imix, the prince of evil fire creatures, is his top kill so far. Alright, so pretty nice. Also, when we're looking at the character sheets, we might as well do the level ups. So Karenai, level 35. Not a very impressive level up. We're going to give her her third time stop trap. And Imoen, level 23. Now when it comes to her high level ability, I think it is time to give her Summon Planetar as well. So she is going to have a nice assortment of spells. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to take our potions from here, from the ground, and also didn't loot one Githyanki guy. Oh, and I think, yeah, we can drop that. By the way, one thing I forgot to tell about Karsten is that of course, him summoning all of these creatures and from elsewhere and killing them, as cruel as that might be, he was actually doing everyone a favor, if you think about it. You know, basically pulling creatures, you know, evil creatures like Illithids, or perhaps those mimics also, or the Yonti and whatever else he managed to summon from elsewhere in the world, meant that you know, they weren't left to their own devices and making trouble anywhere else in the world, instead being either contained on this level or killed by his spells. So that might have influenced Senashira's decision a little bit as well to let him go. But anyway, now we are done with this level completely. Let's go back to our pocket plane, speak with our butler, and craft some of those items already. Now we have managed to gather up some funds that we'll be able to pay Sespinar, and we're just going to drop a couple of things, of course, so he doesn't mention every single item that we have available for his shiny ones. As you might have noticed, we also have some scrolls prepared and some stuff on Kirinai for some upcoming fights. But anyway, Sespinar, my good man.
Sespinar gladly serve the Great One. Ooh! Bhaal had one of these. Used to pick kid lots. No manners he.
Yeah, so we can upgrade the Dagger of the Star with 5 star sapphires that we have collected primarily in the Temple of the Fire Giants. And we've, by the way, there was also a comment about that, we've of course stashed all of the gems and jewelry used in the process of crafting all of the different shiny ones in a separate gem bag, in Kirinai's gem bag. We've had all of these gems safely stashed there, so I didn't accidentally sell them. Anyway, let's of course get that Dagger of the Star upgraded. And I think we're going to just first craft all of the items and then inspect all of them in our inventory. But yeah, just to showcase, you know, of course now we don't have any of the gems, except this one King's Tears. I guess when we upgraded the Bag of Plenty to +2 bullets, I guess we had a King's Tears in our primary gem bag, and that got taken from here. But yeah, of course everything else we had prepared in Kirinai's bag.
Ooh, nice axe! Lops off heads like nobody's business. I like it.
So yeah, Axe of the Unyielding with the Baldur's Claw that we got in Yagashira's place. We can craft that, upgrade it to a very good weapon. Alright, next up.
A mace from the skies. Hit you on the head and leave lumps, maybe?
Yeah, Stormstar with the Starfall ore from Kaiser Jerry's basement. So yeah, whenever you get Stormstar in Shadows of Amn, for example, by doing Watcher's Keep Den, at the very beginning of Throne of Bhaal, whenever you go to Saradush, you can get the component to upgrade it.
Ooh! Ooh! Ugh. What is bad smell? You been killing dragons?
Yeah, level 3 of Watcher's Keep, we of course obtained these white dragon scales. We can make a nice armor out of that without any additional components.
Could be messy. Enjoy. Ooh! What got we here? A book? It's good bedtime readings, maybe? Oh, it's Tome of Golems. Yuck. Boring.
And yeah, now that we have that clay golem page, we are going to use it. And finally we're going to be able to summon a clay golem for ourselves. That is of course immune to all physical damage except crushing, and can also apply that curse that blocks direct healing. And we're actually going to just drop the tome because he is going to mention it again. Because of course it can be further upgraded with, you know, the stone golem page and the juggernaut golem page in the end.
Huh? You have something here? It smells like dirt? Needs good washing, maybe?
Yeah, now we have the cloak and the clasp of Montolio. We can, I guess, do the very complicated process of attaching that clasp to the cloak, and we're going to have the final thing.
Hey, what is this? A hood? You off to visit grandmother or what?
Yeah, we're going to be able to get the Thieves' Hood. That requires an antidote potion and one of our rings of invisibility, these Sand Thieves rings. So we can, we'll gladly take that trade and get ourselves that Thieves' Hood. Very nice item. And we still have more of these rings, I think. We still should have, yeah, one more of these Sand Thieves rings. And we also have the one that gives us improved invisibility. But anyway, I think this is going to be it.
Without hesitation. Nope. Nope. I see nothing more that matches with my recipes. No more shiny ones. Oh well. Back to cleaning, I guess.
Sespinar is sad. His fun is over with crafting shiny ones. Let's just re-equip ourselves so I don't forget it. And yeah, now we can inspect our new goodies. So the Axe of the Unyielding is now a +5 enchanted weapon. It's a pretty nice weapon. The unfortunate thing about it is that it doesn't inflict any elemental damage on hit, but it has that 10% chance of instantly killing, although it does grant a saving throw with a penalty, but still, to the targets, and provides some regeneration. You can like always equip it whenever you're about to go to rest, for example, to get that regeneration going, or if you're traveling. And yeah, +1 Constitution can give some nice hit point bonuses to, depending on the character, and the armor class is pretty irrelevant for us. This is not going to be too useful, although it looks very cool, has a cool glow. Yeah, pretty nice. Anyway. Next up we have Stormstar, now +5 with some electrical resistance and a chance to unleash a chain lightning on target. And, you know, +5 enchantment and that nice electrical damage on it. Yeah, just a shame that it comes into play so late. Now the White Dragon Scale, and this is a pretty interesting armor, granting, you know, decent amount of cold resistance whenever you need it, and a level 10 Cone of Cold that can be cast 3 times. But the interesting thing about it is that this is actually a splint mail, not a plate armor. So its armor class for a splint mail is very good, and also grants different bonuses that the ones we are used to. So it actually grants an even better armor class versus piercing and missile attacks, and also versus crushing, which is of course the type of damage that plate armors don't give any additional armor class bonuses to. So this is actually pretty cool, and it also, of course, looks different. It doesn't look like a plate armor, of course, but like a splint one. I like that kind of look, but I don't think we are going to really use it on a regular basis, because of course, even though it would, compared to Saravok's usual setup, for example, it gave 1 more armor class, which is basically irrelevant, but with a Ring of Protection he can of course have better saving throws, which I value much more. Now, the Thieves' Hood, and this is a very nice item. Granting us immunity to backstab. This is actually the 3rd item that actually gives us 100 poison resistance instead of just making us immune to the poisoned status effect. And what is also really nice is that it has True Sight 3 times per day on it, and this is an item that thieves can wear. And yeah, having an additional source of True Sights coming from your thief, really nice. The immunity to a backstab is going to come in handy, and primarily in this challenge once we get to it. Actually, we might give it already to Kirinai to hold on to, although she has some stuff prepared for what's going to happen soon. Now we have the Dagger of the Star, now +5 enchantment, and this chance of actually making the user invisible after a successful attack is increased from 5 to 15%, which makes it much better, but still not enough, in my opinion, to realize this really cool idea. Of course, this is, you know, kind of to make it, you know, a nice weapon for backstabbing. You know, whenever you make a backstab, sometimes you have a chance of going invisible afterwards immediately for another one, or just, you know, attacking normally in like toe-to-toe. You can sometimes go invisible and set yourself up for a nice backstab that way. But first of all, it comes kind of late in the game, and this is just not enough. It should be like 25 or 30% to really make that kind of concept more viable and more fun, I think. Also has just 5% of a chance to unleash some fire and electrical damage. You know, a nice dagger, but it's nothing that Kirinai, I think, is going to use. Maybe we're going to just showcase it somewhere, give that invisibility a chance to proc somewhere, but generally, of course, Kirinai has much better weapon arsenal at her disposal. And finally, we have Montolio's Cloak, and a Fable Cloak of Montolio de Bruchet, perhaps, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, the aged blind mentor of the Dark Elf Ranger Drizzt Do'Urden. And yeah, after Drizzt escaped from the Underdark and found himself on the surface in the 3rd book of his trilogy, Sojourn, he met Montolio, who became his mentor and taught him the ways of the Ranger and about the worship of Miliki, who became Drizzt's chosen deity. And she is a goddess of rangers, druids, forests, and forest creatures. And the cloak says here that he was a master of wielding 2 weapons, as rangers generally are. They get those 2 free proficiency points in 2-weapon style. But actually, Montolio was more of an archer, and once in melee, he favored fighting with a sword and a shield. And yeah, not very correct info provided here. And Montolio, also known as Mushi, was blind, as it says here, after a fight against a red dragon, and used his other senses and the help of animals he was able to befriend to make up for it. And before his death, he made Drizzt promise that he would try to find his own place in the world, instead of hiding from everyone in the forest alone. So a very influential figure for Drizzt, and a cool reference, but the developers of BG2 should have read the book before making that description. And what's also very unfortunate, such a cool character. We have Montolio's cloak, but it's so underwhelming in what it actually gives. It's basically a cloak of protection +1 that stacks with other protection items, and just the only unique thing about it is that it grants you a +2 tackle bonus for your offhand attack. The attack that happens once per round, or twice if you're improved hasted, compared to a potential 8 attacks with your main hand. So, for such a character, I wish this cloak was better, being like +2 here, or perhaps giving you, seeing how Montolio was blind, maybe this item could cast a true sight or something, or maybe give you a +2 tackle bonus to all of your attacks instead of with just offhand. But the unique thing about this cloak is that, by the way, it's also only for rangers, but of course Kirinai, with her use any item, is going to be able to make use of that. And basically what's unique about this cloak is that if you have 3 points in 2-weapon style and this cloak equipped, you can completely eliminate the offhand tackle penalties. So if Kirinai had that 3rd point in 2-weapon style, giving her an additional 2 tackle points, and if we equipped weapons of the same enchantment level, she would be able to have the same tackle for her main hand and offhand attack. But of course, like I said, it's not doesn't really matter all that much. And that is it for now. Now we're going to be able to go back to adventuring and finally descend to the 5th level of Watcher's Keep. We're almost going to be at the bottom. And we're going to have to face some of the final challenges in the place. So here we can see the final seal here. The symbol of Helm carved into the floor appears to be some manner of seal, preventing exit or entry. There are 3 large pedestals with keyholes in them surrounding it. And we're going to need keys to activate the 3, and then use the wheel here to open the final seal. And let's just first take a look around, because there can be some groups of monsters here waiting us. Oh yeah, there are going to be some golems. Quite a few of them. We can insta-kill the sand golem with our Crom Fair, and then probably deal with the ice golems first. Right, there we go. And I think we can also already take out some anti-poison things. We can have the Ring of Anti-Venom on Sinashira. This is going to be useful for us in a moment. And I guess since Kirinai is going to be immune to poison, she might as well go in there and deal some more damage in melee. I'm equipping us against poison because the iron golems, of course, have that gas cloud.
Yes, certainly. You will fall by my hand.
Let's first, take care of these ice golems and their cones of colds and whatnot. Cones of cold. Oh, well. Get them in. Be safe there. Right, and Jaheira actually got poisoned, but no worries. We have ways to deal with that. Here we're going to have a spirit altar that we cannot use yet. We are going to be in... we're going to need to have the warrior's skull, as it says here, to activate it. I'm actually not looking forward to that whole sequence. I don't like it very much, but we're going to, of course, talk about it once we're about to do it. Well, I guess Kirinai can stay in with melee equipment. Alright, some mutated spiders. Sometimes you can have some better spiders accompanying them as well, like some vortex spiders. Here we're going to have a different device with 4 differently colored pillars. We're going to inspect that later. And we're going to start by going south here and tackling the challenges over here.
Yes, sweetheart, what is it?
So here we are greeted by this Helmite ghost. Hail, brave lady. Rest assured, I know your mission. You seek the path to the imprisoned one. But beware, the path before you is difficult, the danger great. So who are you? What are you doing here? I am the keeper of the key, the one left behind. Duty compels me to remain, to stand guard over one of the keys to the final seal. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. You must be worthy in heart, spirit, and mind before the final seal will be unlocked. My solemn task is to test the perseverance, courage, and wisdom of your heart. And he actually refers to the 3 doors here. One of them is going to test our perseverance, the other courage, and the final one, our wisdom. So how do I prove myself? Behind me are 3 doors. I may not speak of the gauntlet of ordeals which lay beyond. Complete all 3 challenges and return to me here. Only then will your heart be proved worthy. As I feared, Senashira, we must prove our worth. Wow, Jaheira, you're so smart. And yeah, Imoen presents a good point here. I mean, by now we should be well known as, like, powerful heroes, forces of good in the world. And, you know, you would think through all of our adventures up to this point we have proven ourselves enough. But anyway, first I think I'm going to go into the middle door. And with the environment here, with the giant stairs, giant entrance, you might already suspect what's coming here. I'm going to protect ourselves against the fear, because there is going to be a dragon, and I'm not going to handicap myself here. We're just going to kind of go in, not even unleash our full powers, but we're not really going to particularly hold back against this dragon. Actually, this is going to be a good opportunity to perhaps use some improved hastes. And yeah, we're going to use, I think, Saravok, Kirinai, and Senashira, all protected against poison, which is going to be relevant. Also, I think, Kirinai, you can apply some mirror images onto yourself, and we're also going to protect ourselves against abjuration, because that dragon is level 24, so he is going to have a decently potent remove magic, and we don't want our... do we have abjuration? Okay, we do. So of course we don't want to have our improved hastes dispelled by that remove magic. We're going to apply the improved haste from the Cloak of Protection +2 and from the Darkfire Bow here. And yeah, we're going to be able to dish out some damage then. And Senashira now is going to make herself immune to abjuration as well. And perhaps even get some mirror images of her own. And we might as well go with the whole theme with Saravok as well. Give him some mirror images. And now we're going to equip the answer first, I think, to reduce the armor class of the dragon with a couple of attacks first, and then we're just going to go all out with our other weapons. Actually, let's keep everybody somewhat close. Come on, Saravok, you slowpoke.
Oh, bother.
This dragon seems pretty bored. I am the fearsome death that awaits those that would break the seal. You have come to challenge me, or perhaps for the warrior's skull. You shall have neither victory nor the skull. Let the slaughter begin. Oh yes, you are going to... you are going to be punished, dragon. I don't think he even starts with any pre-buffs. He has a different selection of spells. He is a green dragon, and he is level 24. He has 700 HP. He has the standard 30 physical resistance and 55 magic resistance, I think. He is also immune to poison and 50% resistant to acid. And as a green dragon, his breath deals poison damage. That's why we have equipped all 3 of the items that give us poison resistance, so we are not going to be affected by that. And his selection of spells is a little different. I think he has summon insects. He actually sometimes buffs himself with like defensive harmony, and he can heal himself. He actually has the spell heal, which of course, considering his massive health pool, is going to be a powerful move that he is going to be able to instantly unleash. So yeah, kind of a different dragon, but we're not going to show it any mercy and just kind of go, go, go. And I think Sarawak is going to... Okay, there is a remove magic. And I think Sarawak might use the last shorter burst of improved haste from the Ring of Gax. Alright, now he has it, and let the slaughter commence. And I think Kiranai has managed to apply that debuff a couple of times with some successful attacks. Now we're going to switch to Spectral Brand and just go to town on this dragon. He's already badly injured. He's not unleashing any of these heals, it seems. Near death. Let's actually give him a chance so that you know that I'm not crazy. He actually... Yeah, his contingency now procced with a delay. So if we just kept, you know, unleashing our damage in you know, such a quick pace, even his contingency wouldn't have the chance to trigger. Alright, let's do it again. Let's burn through this 700 HP again. And I think, yeah, he did use Defensive Harmony. He also has, you know, Breach, some anti-magic spells. Let's heal here with Kiranai. And I think he might have a heal that he can cast manually on himself. We'll see if he's going to do that. Oh, didn't manage to. Yeah, so as you can see, not even unleashing our full powers against a dragon at this point. You know, it was a pretty quick fight here. A truly fearsome foe defeated, brave Senashira. Your courage is without question. You have completed this challenge. Yeah, this one was a test of our courage. Get even more experience. Yeah, of course, at this point, you know, Watcher's Keep gave us plenty of experience. And from that dragon we got Hindo's Doom, which is kind of the Throne of Bhaal katana. It is upgradable, but even after the upgrade it's entirely unimpressive, and basically the only use of it for now is just casting lesser restoration from it. And we also got that Warrior's Skull, which we're going to be able to use on that altar. And
What is it?
and engage in that whole event.
Speak quickly and
Alright, before we go here to the test of perseverance, I think I am going to quickly apply some chaotic commands. Senashira and Imoen already have those from their fights, from the fight against the Demi-Lich, but let's get Jaheira hooked up here, and Anomen. And well, I guess let's have it on everybody. There's not going to be a big danger of getting dispelled in the upcoming fight because there are going to be some mages, but they are going to be very low level compared to us. Compared to like Anomen's, you know, level 34 spells. I think what we're also going to do is we might give Anomen some blade barrier. And that's going to be it, really. I think there's not really going to be anything major required of us to have a good time in this upcoming encounter. And yeah, now I wanted to give Kiranai some stuff. Yeah, we can stash the Dark Fire Bow.
yes, without
And let's go in. So yeah, this is kind of going to be an endurance round, similar to our first Pocket Plane challenge, in that whenever we kill these orcs, there are going to be new spawning, new ones appearing, and basically we just have to survive here for a certain amount of time. And there's going to be the normal orcs, which are level 11 barbarians. The orc mages are level 12, so that means they only have access to up to level 6 spells, and they generally throw out some chaos spells or emotion hopelessness, or they can cast breach and protection from magical weapons. So of course with our chaotic commands we are well covered against most of their tricks. And there are also going to be orc archers, which are just level 7, so they are actually susceptible to death spell. And of course, you know, levels 7, 11 and 12 also all qualify for a greater death blow, but we don't have any available on Sarawak anymore. And it's not like it matters, this fight is very easy either way. But this is actually going to give us an opportunity to unleash some lower level spells that normally aren't that useful anymore. That's why we have like these scrolls of Chain Lightning and Delayed Blast Fireball on Imoen, and we have this Scroll Trap here. We also have the Wands of Fire and Wands of Lightning prepared. So we are going to have the opportunity to have some fun with spells that we don't really get to use all that much anymore.
What is it?
Alright, so let's just go in there. There's going to be 2 mages. This one actually cast protection from magical weapons. Yeah, they use their Barbarian Rage. And actually, this is going to be a cool opportunity to showcase something involving Aganazar's Scorchers and the opponent's minor spell turning. Even though they are protected with Minor Globe. And yeah, Stone Skins and Fire Shields Blue. And they actually don't have mirror images. Even though they themselves are going to be immune to Aganazar's Scorcher, because of course it's just a level 2 spell, and Minor Globe is going to protect them from that, their minor spell turning is actually going to bounce that off of them, and they are going to be able to create some death rays of their own. If you remember our showcase of the death rays from the Underdark, let's actually do that. Let's actually unleash some Aganazar's Scorchers here,
Yes.
and let's allow, yeah, the orc mages. Look at all these Aganazar's Scorchers rays that we are able to unleash. Of course, Senashira is, you know, immune to fire. We're not worried about her. And yeah, we were able to have some fun with that. We might as well unleash a quick remove magic to dispel these mages. Well, it seems like Senashira was... No, Breach was cast on Sir Animan, and Spell Thrust was cast on Senashira, so her spell immunity to abjuration was dispelled, unfortunately. And let's just continue the fight. Here I think Kiranai is going to wait for a second until a better situation presents itself. Right, contingency with Stone Skin on that guy, and let's actually prioritize these mages. We might cast a Chain Lightning on them. They of course don't have improved invisibility, we can target them, and of course a level 6 spell like Chain Lightning is going to affect them even though they have some magical protections on them. Okay, another mage with protection from magical weapons. I think this time Senashira is going to unleash a quick remove magic in the middle there. Oh, that was interrupted by his lucky throw with minute meteors. That's kind of unfortunate, wasting a remove magic like that. But I think this guy is not protected against magical weapons yet, I think. Okay, I guess he is. So we would have to switch to our normal weapons. I don't think I'm going to do that. We're just going to wait for Imoen's next round, I guess, to unleash a quick remove magic here. And here might be a good enough situation to use this Skull Trap on Kiranai, perhaps. Right, here comes our remove magic, and even this mage here qualified for it. Very nice. He appeared just in time. And I guess we should kind of focus on these guys. Alright, this one buffed himself with protection from magical weapons, so he is going to survive for a moment. What else did we have there in our disposal? Let's maybe unleash some lightning bolts on these guys. And what else? This delayed blast fireball we could use on Kiranai in a moment. As a level spell, as a level 7 spell, this is also going to affect the mages. Yeah, nice lightning bolts there. I think we're going to have to kind of... Oh, actually, we have an opportunity to do something different still. Something that we haven't used yet. If we take out our Karsamir. Karsamir, of course, can cast a Dispel magic at level 15. And considering that these mages are only level 12, this is going to carry a pretty nice chance of actually being successful. So this mage in the middle here. Let's just direct our Dispel magic kind of low here so that we don't dispel ourselves. Let's keep ourselves at a distance here. We're not protected against abjuration anymore. Oh, he actually is going that way, so that's pretty cool. We could even maybe unleash one horrid wilting. It's kind of a too powerful spell to really use on such an encounter against such opponents, but whatever, let's have some fun with it. Okay, there's another mage spawning here. I think that's going to be the extent of our fun with Karsamir, though. And could you loot your own spectral brand here? And equip yourself with it. Let's just go and well, okay, the dispel magic was not not actually successful on the mage on the right. Perhaps he is going to walk into this incoming horrid wilting, though. We'll see how that's going to go. Maybe. Boom. That was quite effective, but I think they managed to kind of walk out of range of that. Yeah, no mage was affected by our horrid wilting. I think we are going to have to cast a quick remove magic from Sinashira here, perhaps to be able to affect all of these guys here. And I think we could use that one scroll we have. Although aiming this delayed blast fireball is going to be a little problematic because, of course, in order for it to explode, there have to be enemies near it. So with all of this moving around, it might be the case that we're just going to place it somewhere and it's just going to be more problematic than useful for us. Right, here's our remove magic. Oh, nice Deathbringer's Assault there. Of course, since they were barbarians, they had some physical damage resistance. That's why the Deathbringer Assault didn't deal the full 200 damage, but 180 instead. And Jaheira was breached, which is a little unfortunate because that means she lost her chaotic commands. We lost chaotic commands on Jaheira and Anomen, and those could be useful in some upcoming fights. Alright, but this is it. Your stamina is great, your perseverance admirable. You have survived the horde and completed this challenge. Alright, cool. Let's just see if there are any useful scrolls that these guys left behind. I'm not going to engage in like complete, like fully looting all of these corpses, even using our quick loot. Alright, seems like we didn't really get anything useful. But from this little pool, we can get a very notable spear. Alright, this is going to go to Imoen then, and do we have anything left over? It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, now we have Ixil's Nail, a +4 spear, which in combination with that dagger, Ixil's Spike that we have over here, combined they are going to create a very highly enchanted spear. That's going to be something for our next crafting session with Sespinar. And yeah, that's it. Even more experience for us. And let's do the third challenge here, the Challenge of Wisdom. And there's an imp greeting us. Guests, welcome to my domain. Like, welcome to my domain. Can you imagine an imp talking like that? Welcome to die. as the classic arcade quote states. Anyway, no doubt you seek a challenge, but are you worthy of it, or merely fools? We shall soon see. I'm sick of games and puzzles and tests. Sadly, you do not make the rules here. This is my realm, my little world, so we do as I say. I have as many brothers as sisters, but my brothers have twice the number of sisters as brothers. How many children do my parents have? And basically the tricky thing about this riddle, and the thing that throws off most people on their first try, is that assumption that this imp is a dude, but it is actually female. So, considering that, our answer is going to be 7, because that is going to mean that she has 3 sisters and 3 brothers, and each of the boys here have 2 brothers and 4 sisters, twice the amount. So 7 is going to be the correct answer. Perhaps you are a worthy mental adversary despite your doltish appearance. Oh, shut up! How dare you speak to me like that, you little mongrel? But to complete this challenge, you must beat me at a game of coins. I passed your pathetically simple test. I can certainly beat you at coins. How do you play? The rules are simple. Here are 11 coins. We alternate turns, taking 1, 2, or 3 coins at a time. Whoever takes the last coin loses. A simple game to learn, but a difficult one to master. Since I always play fair, I will let you start. 11 coins are left. How many will you take? Alright, we'll take 2 to start. She's going to take 1. We're going to take 3. And that leaves her in a situation where no matter what she does, we are going to be able to play it in such a way as to always leave the last coin for her to pick up. You are smarter than you look, or sound, or act. Fine, I will take 3 coins and leave just 2. Try not to sprain anything figuring this out. Yeah, so we take the last one. Well, 1 out of the 2, and then the last one is there for the imp to pick up. You may have won, but I'm not going to stick around here and listen to your gloating. Haha, you're stupid, XD. Alright, that's going to be the extent of my gloating there. And yeah, we of course got even more experience in the whole process, and our wisdom has allowed us to triumph over the cunning and trickery of the imp. I hope it will be so when you face the imprisoned one. Alright, so we have some minor stuff to loot from here.
What is certainly?
Well, we still had 1 slot. I just didn't click properly.
Speak.
Alright, cool. You have completed the challenges of the gauntlet and proved your heart is worthy to face the imprisoned one. The key to the final seal is yours.
Without doubt.
Yeah, so now we have this heart key with a single word, courage, inscribed upon it. 1 out of the 3 that we are going to need. And yeah, Animan got another level 35. Not a very impressive one, but of course he just increases his caster level that way. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for this episode. As always, I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for the other challenges here, for us to get the other 2 keys, and then finally engage in the final seal fights. That's going to be awesome. But anyway, for now I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.